Sometimes we're in a meeting at work, maybe church or in school, where we need to participate. And if we don't participate, if we don't speak out, we don't get good grades. That can be high school, can be college, anywhere. But have felt like you want to say something, and what you want to say is important and contribute to the discussion, but you just keep saying, I say this, or what are they going to think if I say this? And you really don't know why you have that fear of speaking. And by the time you feel like, yes, I'm going to raise my hand, I'm going to say something, it's too late. The meeting is over, or the timing has passed that you could have spoken and you didn't speak. Those things are results of being shy. Being shy is not a disease, it's just a feeling that we can overcome. I would like to talk to you about it myself because I was in this situation too. And it is something we have to work if we want to be successful. I'm not talking about success like having millions of dollars in our bank account, but success such as having a life that we enjoy, that we can have friends, have people that we can talk to, and be part and be a contributor to our daily associations with our voice by speaking and not being shy, not being afraid to speak to somebody. So I have had some very good coaching training from a very good coaching school and specialized in different fields of coaching. And one of them is to coach people who are this condition as called shyness, who wants to overcome being shy and who wants to be able to speak and not be afraid, be able to walk in a room that's filled with people and not feel like you're going to die just by the thought of having to walk in there. And because I was like that and finally got myself out of that situation. Now I can teach what I learned to people who are suffering because it's very painful and it's very disappointing to ourselves to feel like we are not like everybody else. They can't talk, the people listen, and we feel really out of touch, like a fish out of the water because we don't feel fit in when everybody else is having a great time. Like in a party, you're there and they're friends, people, and they're making friends and they're meeting people and you want to talk to them, but you'd rather die because you're so afraid to speak. But you can come those things because those are feelings and feelings can be overcome. They can be replaced by other feelings. That's what I didn't know then and learned, and that's what I would like to teach you. Another situation would be you meet somebody that you like and that you love to meet and maybe even build a relationship with, but you're so shy and scared that you miss those opportunities. And before somebody else who is not shy goes over there and takes the platform from you. Those are real situations and they're very valid situations. One thing that I learned that's very important is that being shy can really damage our lives. Like I said, in school, we want better grades. If we want a scholarship, for instance, we need to be those type of people that speak and are assertive. They can talk, they can say what they want. We need to be like that. And so that's part of success that I'm talking about. Another success I'm talking about is your family now and your family life in the future. Imagine that you don't have children yet. And maybe one day you will have children. Those children are going to need friends. And you're going to want to know who the parents of those children are. You want to associate with the parents of the children that are friends with your children. For good reasons, we need to know that. Nowadays, we need to know as much as possible about who it is that our children are hanging around with, right? And so how can we do that if we are so scared to speak somebody? We go into a room and we go and sit in the back. Well, there's nothing wrong with sitting in the back, for goodness sakes. Go ahead and sit in the back if that's what you like. But you're so scared that you go in quietly, sit, and whenever the meeting is over or whatever it is that you are at is over, you run out because you're afraid that somebody's going to speak to you and what are you going to say back, right? Or you just don't want to say anything to somebody. But that is a problem that can carry on into your family life and even into your future family life, because, like I said, you might want to know who it is that your children are associating with. You want to be able to pick up the phone and say, hello, my name is Mary, and I hear that our children are friends. How would you like to go grab a cup of tea with me? Or there's this and this happening this weekend. I was wondering if you would like to bring your child and our children can play together while we talk. And then you can get to know that person, right? And my child is associating with somebody that I feel comfortable with. And they will also appreciate that from you because they too have the same concerns that you do, and they want their children to associate with people that they feel comfortable with. So that is so important. But how are you going to pick up that phone and talk to that person if you're so scared to talk to somebody? And one thing is, a lot of times when we are in that trap, because it is a trap, it's a cage that keeps us in that situation where we are so shy that we can't talk to somebody. That trap is really dangerous because it can take away many of our opportunities to live a better life, to offer a better life to other people. Think about so many people, they're so lonely just because maybe they're dressed up or maybe they're not dressed up. Maybe they're poor, rich, or whatever. But everybody loves to be greeted and to be acknowledged. And our voice can be a comfort to somebody. We don't know what they're going through. And imagine at work, just go and sit on your chair, do your work all day. At the end of the day, go home and don't talk to anybody. You don't gain anything from life, and they don't gain anything. But you are filled with goodness, filled with words that you can share, and you could use a process that you can learn that when you arrive at work, you can look around and see the people and greet them and smile. And you don't have to be a social butterfly. That's not what I'm talking about. But you can learn techniques that you can feel comfortable saying hello, comfortable acknowledging people. And sometimes that can save a life. I won't go into too much details, but one of the members of an office I worked at, apparently he was under a lot of stress, a lot of pain. And none of us, including me, nobody was really talking to him because poor thing, he was very good looking. And so he'll come in, sit there in his desk, and we thought he just doesn't want to talk to us, right? And so we wouldn't talk to him. And I was the type that was so shy that I would never dare to go talk to a guy, especially if he was good looking like that. And so one night he walked into the elevator that I was catching to go home. I was going down the elevator with another coworker, and we barely acknowledged him. That night, he killed himself. And yeah, so we never know what a hello, a little conversation can do for somebody because we don't know just because of the way they look or who they are or the position that they hold. We are afraid to talk to them, but we don't need to be afraid. We can use our voices even as compassionate service and speak to people and be of good cheer and spread cheer to others by acknowledging them and saying hello. But if we are so shy that we feel that unless somebody talks to us, we don't talk to them. Also, that it can be a label. We can be labeled as shy from infancy, from childhood, and grow up as, oh, she's the shy one in the family, or oh, at school, she's shy. And who go and talk to a shy person, right? Most people don't because they don't get the response because that person doesn't respond. Or even if they respond, it is such a cold response that people don't extend themselves again to the shy person. And that label can really hurt a person throughout their lives for being shy, because when they're labeled as being shy, everybody leaves them alone. Yeah, let's leave them alone because they're shy, they don't talk. But that is not a good thing. And it's very damaging to our social life, to our family life, to our professional life, to every aspect of our life. So it's so important that we overcome this. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about because I have learned ways that we can do that. And I would love to help you if this is the problem you're experiencing. If you get in the room and people, maybe you even have a date. You're lucky enough to get a date or a boyfriend or somebody where you go to a party, but you don't talk to anybody. You're scared to death to talk, or you feel that you don't have anything to say to anybody. But the little butterflies will come and talk to your boyfriend. And eventually they take your boyfriend because they're the ones that talk. So talking, speaking, and sharing our mind and what we feel in our hearts, it's very important for our success, meaning a good life, a life that has balance, and a life that we are happy and not oppressed or feel sad, feel isolated. Most shy people feel very isolated, very unwanted around because they don't know how to talk. It's not a problem that the person has, it's just a feeling of fear that they have that they need to overcome. And so I would love to help you to overcome those feelings. That pain that's constant with you. I know it is a pain because I had that, but you can overcome it. That is not life. That is very painful. That is a life that is taken from us because those who don't have this problem, they are not very sensitive to those who do. You know that, and I know that. So let's overcome shyness. I'll see you soon.